welcome to another installment of TED Excellence, the show in which I find out that my body is fine just the way it is. Or it isn't. Or I loaded the exact wrong overlay. And I come to you live from my Corona bunker on the moon with Dogcat Fox, a Pepperjack, and all of you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Thursday. Wonderful Thursday. I screwed that up too, didn't I? Oh, well. Let's see if I can fix the overlay at least real quick. And how about that? No, what the... Did it not save? It didn't save, did it? No, it didn't. Oh, for crying out loud. Well, everyone, guess what? It's live TV, and apparently I didn't save the correct overlay. Oh, well, I'm not going to dwell on it. I'll switch back between them as some kind of April Fool's joke or something. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all having a good day. I'm obviously having a bit of a scattered day already, but maybe that'll be in line with today's topic. I don't know. We'll find out. Today's topic, if you can believe it, is you don't have to love your body. Alternatives to body positivity. I wish that was up in the corner for reference, but it isn't because somehow... Okay. I'm not a perfectionist by nature, but when I put, effort into something and I try to do something correctly and then it all gets screwed up because of my own brainlessness or something, it is very frustrating. Oh, well. Hello, everyone. Let me say my hellos. That'll take my mind off of all this craziness. Maybe, just maybe. Lady Gopher, thank you so much for the dancing, lovely Dogcat Fox. Oh, Dogcat Fox. Wowie, wow, wow. Dogcat Fox is happy. Thank you, Lady Gopher. But beyond all that, Patrice Ripley, hello. Somnambulation, hello. Matt Barnes, hello. Funtime Bats, hello. The Assassin of the Gray, hello. Debate Fly, hello. John Miller, hello. Texas Attorney General Secret Agent, hello. Dr. Keeve, hello. Jeannie Melquist, hello. Let's see, and then everything jumps down because of course it does. Brittany Holland, hello. Swirl Blue, hello. Nathaniel Taylor, hello. Lurking Gopher, hello. Non-Vitae Rex, hello. Megan Ring, hello. Mike Savage, Blarg. Juggernaut, hello. Tony Giff, hello. Roger Reynolds, hello. Your boy, Pat. Hello. Hey, Pat. Mr. E, hello. Scuba Guy Steve, too. Hello. Hope everybody's doing well. Again, for reference, the overlay is incorrect. I really did make the overlay, but I guess I didn't save it, or I saved it into the wrong folder. I don't know. I'm going to take a second here on the off chance that I can find it at the last second, because that would be preferable to me just having this itch the entire time we're doing the show of me not being able to, do the thing that I want to do. Okay. It's called Moon something or other, and it's not there. Okay. Well, shucks. Shucky darn. Do I have a generic one? Do I have just a generic one that doesn't have anything on it? Of course I don't. Oh, wait. Oh, I do. Tell you what. No, never mind. Okay. Well, the show must go on, everyone. So, with all of that boring preamble, I apologize, out of the way. Get your bingo cards ready. The card today is card C. C as in carnivore diet, because that was what was on the poll. If you'd like to take part in the poll that chooses the bingo card for the episode, be sure to follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is in the description below. So, with all that being said, let us begin. Again, we're about to cover You Don't Have to Love Your Body. Alternatives to body positivity. So, for reference, my understanding of body positivity, in case anybody needs to know, is the belief that no matter your bodily shape or condition, that you're okay, you're healthy at any size. There's nothing wrong about being morbidly obese. That's usually where it goes. If you're morbidly obese and somebody says, hey, maybe you should think about exercising more, dieting, going to see a doctor or something. No, you're shaming me. I'm body positive. I'm not going to apologize for my body. And it's one of those things where it's like, no, you don't have to apologize for your body, but to promote the idea that being either morbidly obese or whatever is some healthy or something to be encouraged in other people, that's where the rubber does not meet the road, if you get my meaning. So alternatives to body positivity, I'm not quite sure what that means. You don't have to love your body. So you can hate your body. I don't know. Hopefully our speaker will explain things to us. So with that, all of that, a couple of seconds for sound test. You guys tell me if you can hear this, and then we will proceed.
I wish I was fat as the first time I thought I was fat.
No, I wish I was fat was the first time I thought I was fat? Is she going to keep the mask on the whole time? Because this could be a very unintelligible presentation. I'm going to back up just a second. Did you guys hear that? Okay, you can hear it. I'm not sure I understood it. So let's try that one more time.
I wish I was fat as the first time I thought I was fat. That was a thought that went through my mind the first few years of college, when my body was changing and I was able to be the body that it was supposed to be.
Already I'm confused, but okay, so your body was changing in college and you started to gain weight. And you realized that you were fat. Okay.
I was outside of the structures that were put in place by my mother.
Whoa, the sound quality just took a jump up, thank goodness, because that sounded terrible. That wasn't me. Well, thank you, TEDx, because otherwise this would have been a painful thing to listen to, at least in the oral sense.
Outside of the expectations that were put on me by doctors. And I was really able to think about my body and the time and space. And the first time I thought I was fat.
Okay.
I thought that this was a good thing.
Oh, I mean, the expectations put on you by doctors? You mean doctors saying, if you maintain this lifestyle or if you don't lose weight, you could be facing health problems down the line? That's an expectation, or is that just advice or just a likely certainty? Okay, the limitation. How dare doctors try to oppress me with their knowledge of long-term health?
To think about myself. Oh my gosh, I wish I was fat as the first time I thought I was fat.
I wish I was fat was the first time I thought I was fat. I wish I was fat. What? I'm already boggled.
Because the first time I thought I was fat, I had to have been around 10 years old.
Okay. All right, well, let's go to the bingo card because that opens things up pretty quick. We're going to circle free space. And childhood or family anecdote is on the board as well. So there we go. Moving on.
But in reality, thinking of myself as fat, as a 10-year-old when I was not fat, was only harming my body image.
Well, yes, if you had some sort of like obsession with your weight at 10, yeah, that would tend to lend itself to having poor body image notions for yourself. So you thought you were fat at 10, so what did you do?
And it was only saying that me being fat was only a negative trait. I should only be as thin as the first time I was fat is really what I was saying.
I should only be as thin as the first time I was fat. Fat is a negative trait. Well, it's not a healthy trait. I don't know how much of a negative it is, depending on what context we're talking about. But insofar as one's health, being overweight is, as you go on, not as healthy as being relatively, within proportional to your height and everything. But I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what the exact perfect balance is. But what are you talking about?
That was my first step into body positivity. I was
Okay.
really able to then finally reflect on my body and what it meant to have my body, a fat body. But I soon realized that body positivity was not the space for me.
Okay, well, first and foremost, a fat body is not something you're just cursed with forever and ever and ever. You have options and control over that. I mean, short of some very rare medical conditions, you have to put the effort in. And some people, it may be more difficult than others to lose the weight or maintain a healthy weight, but it's not something that you're just burdened with and have no ability to alter. So, yeah. Thank you, Chicago Mike. Hi, Scribe and chat. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you too, Mike. Okay, the body that you have is the only one you get, and you just decided you were going to be fat. Okay.
You see, body positivity was created in the 1960s by fat activists, specifically fat Black women. They created a space specifically to carve out space for people with non-normative and marginalized bodies.
Non-normative and normative and marginalized bodies. Okay, I could make a crude joke about carving out space, but I think it kind of does it for its own sake. Thank you again, Chicago Mike. Also at work and have to listen later. Okay, well, Mike, it'll be here for you when you get back. And I again apologize for the overlay. God, that bugs me. Anyway.
Like trans people, disabled people, and fat people. And for the sake of the conversation tonight, we're going to be focusing on fat people.
Trans people, disabled people, and fat people. Okay. There's something inherently not the same here if we were on an episode of Sesame Street. Disabled people, barring, medicine or some other procedure or something, are likely going to be disabled no matter what. They don't have much of a choice in that situation. Trans people, and I am going to categorize people who actually possess gender dysphoria, again, they don't really have a choice in the matter. It's kind of just where they're at. Fat people is not a permanent curse unless you choose for it to be, or again, unless you have a very rare condition or in some way, shape, or form, you are as well disabled, which makes it difficult to engage in exercise or something. But generally speaking, you're not cursed with being fat. You have the ability to change that. It may take a lot of work and willpower, but you have the option.
The space that they carved out wasn't only for self-acceptance and a place to be positive and feel good. It was really there to help disrupt the structures and barriers that were put in place to keep fat people out of access.
Okay, well, if you're going to be talking about things that fall within like the Americans with Disability Act or making accommodations for people as reasonable as possible, depending on what you're talking about, maybe I'd agree. But it's really about trying to normalize being overweight as though it were something not to be concerned with healthfully. Because that's all it is. That's all it is. Nobody wants to be criticized. Everyone wants to feel good about themselves. No one wants to feel like they're out of place. And I get that. But there's the uncrossable barrier that being overweight is not inherently healthy, and in fact lends itself to health problems. So whatever problems somebody might have with their self-image as far as attractiveness or moving around or engaging in activities and so on, some things are just not, can't overcome them. And then again, there are people who have no problem with being fat, don't care. And there are plenty of people out there that don't care if you're fat. Oh boy. Thank you. Always lost on nothing else. 364. I sense wordplay will be circled on the bingo card during this TEDx, but I'll hold any more assumptions. Word salad, perhaps. But I don't know where we're going here. So the title of the talk seems to put itself in opposition to body positivity. So what are the alternatives?
When we think of body positivity today, you might think of the perfectly curated Instagram posts.
Hi, Sinatra. Senpai has noticed you. Back to our regular programming.
The feed of thin white women contorting themselves to show that sometimes they might look fat.
Okay, so we're going to bring race into it now, too. All right. Well, then, we're going to the bingo card. Make something about race, sex, etc. for no reason. This is about weight. You're bringing in race. I mean, giving the history of the body positivity movement and bringing up that it was made by Black women, which I'll take our speaker's word for it, that might just be a historical fact. But now it's about, okay.
When in reality, body positivity now is just thin white women claiming and convincing themselves that they aren't fat.
Really? Have you seen Tess Holliday? Can you not see Tess Holliday?
There is no space for fat people in the body positivity movement.
What? You know, if I recall, there have been more than a few TEDx's and TED Talks about body positivity with visibly overweight people. What are you talking about?
Any longer, even though that was what it was first created for.
So body positivity is now for thin white women. They have overtaken and occupied your space. Okay. And then
body positivity gaslights us into thinking that we can make systemic change with an individual mindset of just feeling good about our bodies.
Word salad. Holy cats. Systemic change. Yeah, you know, the systemic change you could make is called aerobics. It's a system of movement and, you know, willpower and discipline and eating and so on. Diet and exercise. That's a system. That's systemic change you could make for yourself. Unless you get more specific, I have no idea what you're talking about, but moving on from that. Thank you. Hey, we're listening here. Big Chungus. Yes, well, in any other circumstance, I've stated this before, but I'll just reiterate it for the sake of completion. When I do a TEDx or a TED Talk or whatever else, or just a video in general, I usually do not comment at all on, you know, the speaker themselves, what they're wearing, what they look like, none of it. I mean, it just isn't relevant. The idea is what is relevant, the argument. Unless the speaker makes themselves part of their presentation. If they use themselves as their example or something else, then, as far as I'm concerned, the door is fairly open for any comment otherwise. Now, I don't have much else comment to make about it, but again, her complaint here is everybody else is wrong and I'm perfectly fine being fat. And if she's fine being fat, that's fine. I don't care, right? Whatever makes her happy or comfortable or whatever else. But that's not her issue. Her issue is everybody else has to be happy with how I look. Like, I don't care how you look. You have nothing to do with my life. It's all sort of like projected paranoia for the most part, except for some, you know, there are some specific issues that she could bring up that are legitimate. I'll see if she brings them up.
Because we have to realize that anti-fatness is systemic.
Anti-fatness is systemic. Thank you, Non Vitae Rex. I've heard the opposite of love is apathy. Is that where this is going? I don't know. I don't know. You don't have to love your body. Alternatives to body positivity. See, I'm not quite, yeah, like I say, there's really only two options there. Either you are indifferent about your body or you hate your body. Because if you don't love your body, then there's not very many places to go.
And it's rooted in anti-Blackness.
Oh, what?
Bingo.
What?
Of course!
Oh, my brain just melted so bad.
What?
What is that? What the fuck is that?
But what? What? That threw me off so much I clicked the wrong thing. What the hell is going on today? I get the wrong overlay or it doesn't save. I click the wrong thing. And then she says that. What? Oh my God. This is the fastest WTF in the history of TED Excellence. Holy cats.
Europeans before the transatlantic slave trade were fat. It was a sign of wealth and prosperity, and it was the beauty ideal.
Europeans were all fat. Okay.
That is until enslaved African women had similar bodies to their own.
So fat African women, what?
And they said, heck no, not.
Wait. Black female African slaves said, heck no.
Going to look like these people over here. And then created another system of oppression.
Wait. So, so Europeans were all fat, and then they started taking on slaves, but then they saw the slaves were fat, and so in order to hate on and spite the fat slaves, Europeans lost weight. Am I getting that right, chat? Did I just somehow, as I understand what she's talking about now? So thin white people is a dig against fat black women slaves from the slave trade. What?
You see, anti-fatness didn't exist until blackness did.
What? Okay, are you just pausing for a long time to let that sink in? Are you waiting for people to nod?
And the systemic oppression of anti-fatness has persisted to today.
What?
Fat people deal with medical mistreatment and misdiagnosis.
Oh, okay.
For example, there was a fat woman a few years ago who went to the doctor with abdominal pain.
Uh-huh.
And the doctor prescribed her diet and exercise.
Uh-huh.
She went home, and we ultimately realized that she had cancer. And she died.
Just right then, right there, without any other treatment, nothing? We ultimately realized she had cancer and she died. I am circling anecdote that probably never happened. Now, that is not to say that someone has been in the past misdiagnosed as having something benign and then turns out they have something serious. But I'm pretty sure that there were several other events and steps in that story, if it is at all true in this case, that occurred that she is leaving out. I'm just going to guess. Thank you, Texas Attorney General Secret Agent. I bet she believes Beethoven was black too. We was composers. I don't know.
Fat people have to deal with the fat tax. Similar to
the fat tax. Okay, tell me about the fat tax.
the fat tax.
Yeah.
Similar to the pink tax.
The pink tax, which is also bullshit, but anyway.
For women, right? All of our items are a couple dollars more, a little more expensive.
Because they're completely different, because they use different materials, because they're designed differently. Go buy the men's stuff. Go buy a men's razor to save yourself a couple of bucks. If that'll work for you, do that. No one is stopping you from doing that.
For the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
Except it's pink.
Exactly. That's one. That's the start. Is there anything else that's different about it? You want to go down the list?
But
you really know how things work, don't you? You really know how things work. Wow, that's great.
Thing, except it's pink.
Yeah.
But the fat tax is the same thing for fat people.
Okay.
Our clothes are a little bit more expensive.
Could it be, and I'm just throwing this out there, could it be that by necessity, clothes for larger people require more material to make? I'm just throwing that out there off the top of my head.
And then fat people are shamed for using fast fashion, even though that may be the only size and financially accessible places for fat people to shop.
Fast fashion? Did she say fast fashion or wait, what?
Even though that may be the only.
Hey, sorry, I didn't go back far enough.
But the fat tax is the same thing for fat people. Our clothes are a little bit more expensive.
Uh-huh.
And then fat people are shamed for using fast fashion, even though that may be the only size and financially accessible places for fat people to shop.
Fast fashion? Did she say, I know she said fast fashion. Did she mean fat fashion? Because she stumbled at the beginning of it, I'm not quite sure if she said what she meant she said. If somebody can tell me what fast fashion is, because I don't know what that is.
Medical or safety mechanisms like seatbelts were not tested on fat bodies.
Oh boy, Sinatra. Just so everybody knows, and I'll be sure to highlight this here, because we have a very special, famous guest in the chat right now. Sinatra says, "Can you send me this? LOL." Well, Sinatra, conveniently for my audience's edification, there's a link to the original in the description if you'd like to go look at it for yourself. I always make that available as it is necessary. So in case anybody thinks that I've been editing something or leaving something out. But okay. Zach Osborne. Zach Osborne comes through. Fast fashion is a design, manufacturing, and marketing method focused on rapidly producing high volumes of clothing. Okay. So it's like fast food, so on and so forth. Sinatra says, how did you do that? How did I do what? Need to be more specific there, Sinatra. Okay, so cheap clothing, right? Not stylish, cheap clothing, because fat people have no sense of taste and are all poor, I guess. Okay. Anyway, mass production. All right, so it's not a new, it's a new phrase to me, but it's not like something that she came up with herself. Okay, that was my question. Is this something that she's coming up with herself? That would make it a new buzzword, buzz phrase, but it's just a term that I was not familiar with. That's different. But hey, I learned something today.
In fact, where a seatbelt is supposed to lay is across your pelvis. So if you're in a collision, it might break your pelvis, but you'll be fine. But for fat people, it's impossible to lay where it's supposed to be. And if we are in a collision, it'll crush our internal organs and we'll die.
Okay, how many and I don't know the answer to this question, how many auto deaths have been caused by seatbelts strangling fat people to death? Oh, Gunfox says, Scribelight, Sinatra asking about highlighting comments. Well, Sinatra, just so you know, if you are on StreamYard, if you're using StreamYard, and you go into the StreamYard control panel, into the comments tab, you can click on a specific comment, and it will appear on the screen, such as that. And it'll stay there until you decide to take it off. And that sounded much more condescending than I meant it to. That's just me being helpful, and I'll just shut up now.
A safety mechanism was not thinking about fat people, and they do not care that we will die.
Okay. I'm going back to the bingo card. Let's review the bingo card for a moment, shall we? Marginalized, marginalization. She did use the word marginalized earlier. Circling that one. Collectivize his own demographic. Certainly. All fat people are like this. All fat people, yada, yada. Leaves out vital context. That story about the cancer patient. I know I use that for anecdote as well, but there's a lot of stuff going on here, especially, okay, the seatbelt thing. Yeah. All fat people who get in a car accident with a seatbelt die because their internal organs get crushed. Okay. Feminism. There's an argument to be made that the origins of the body positivity movement could be related to feminism. I'm not a historian, and what's been in the presentation so far doesn't directly tie it to it, so I'm going to wait on that one. Microaggressions, unconscious bias. This entire thing is about unconscious bias, at least in spirit, because it's about discrimination because you're fat and anti-fatness and so on and so forth. So circling that one. Contradicts own point or argument. I'm not quite sure what her point or argument is yet. So I'll move on from that. Diversity and inclusion. She hasn't said it. Attempt to coin new buzzword, buzz phrase. No, she hasn't coined a new buzzword, buzz phrase. She just used a phrase I was not familiar with. Plays victim. Most certainly plays victim. Mind reading assumes motives. Most certainly, mind reading assumes motives. Benevolent condescension. Anti-fatness is anti-blackness. Circling that one. A list. She's going through a list right now of the fat tax. Circling that one. And because I've circled the fat tax, I can legitimately now...
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Right?
Yeah!
Our first bingo of the show, across the middle, which is poetically convenient for this show. Patriarchy, not yet. Wage gap. She's mentioned, well, I mean, she's implied that fat people are all poor. So I'm going to circle that one. Systemic institutional. She has talked about the systemic change necessary for fat people. Privilege. She's implied it. She hasn't said it yet, so I'll wait on that one. Self-vilification or wretchedness. Yeah, she's done that too. Equity. Hasn't said the word yet. We might get there. Weightless example. Oh, if there could be a show for that one. Setting the pun aside, I'm going to wait. No pun intended there either. I will abstain from circling that one until I get more of a story from her for the moment. White supremacy. Yeah, she's brought in white women and white Europeans and slavery and yada, yada, yada.
Bingo.
What?
Of course!
We have our second bingo down the side. All right, that's a lot of ground to cover in only 5 minutes of a almost 14-minute talk. Oh boy, where could we possibly go next? Dare I ask?
Medications aren't tested for fat people. Like Plan B that only works for people below 170 pounds.
Is there an alternative for people who are heavier? Is there any medical guidance as to what to do if you are heavier than 170 pounds for Plan B? I don't know if there is or there is not. I would be amazed if there wasn't something out there regarding that question, but you just go ahead, I guess.
And fat people lose out on job opportunities due to stereotypes, like we're unclean or unintelligent or immoral.
Is that why? Okay, what job has someone been turned down for because they're fat as being unclean or immoral? Do tell.
So you see, it's kind of hard to put a hashtag BOPO post and think that the systemic oppression is just going to go away.
Okay, well then, what do you recommend we do then to solve this problem?
It's kind of hard just to think good thoughts about your body and think that all of these systems are going to disappear.
I hate to tell you this, but no matter how many systems there are or are not, no matter how many differences in lifestyle there are or are not, your self-esteem is your problem. Your self-esteem is not the system's problem. The operative word in self-esteem is self.
This is not me shaming you if you are accepting yourself, respecting your body, and having a relationship with your body through body positivity.
That you could have fooled me because you just told us how terrible and unproductive and not changing body positivity is. So let's try that again.
And having a relationship with your body through body positivity. That's great. No shame. But I do want you to really reflect on who is centered in those conversations.
Is it thin white women?
Are you centering fat Black women? Are you centering fat people in general?
What? Why bother bringing up fat people in general when you've already told us that the real important demographic is fat Black women? Why follow up? Why bother? Thank you, Drew W. Large people get plan B squared. Oh. Okay.
Because realize that not everyone even gets to entertain body positivity.
What? Why?
Fat people are not allowed to be body positive.
How?
If we are, we're either seen as glorifying obesity or so brave.
I thought you weren't allowed to be, but now if you are, I'm circling contradicts own point or argument. Even in that small case, she just did so.
You're so confident. Can you imagine if someone posted a comment on a thin person and said, "You look so brave"?
I will. Okay, I'm on her side on this one. And it's not just photographs of overweight people or anything, but someone just having a photo of themselves taken and they happen to be, I don't know, outside the ideal body shape, or they possess scars of some kind or whatever. Okay. And it does depend on the circumstances. You know, someone who's been like the victim of some like acid attack or major burns or something, that kind of thing. Not major burns like MASH, but, you know, like someone who's had severe burns on their body. Yeah, but just saying, oh, that's so brave. Stunning and brave for someone just being them and having a photograph taken as though that were some major accomplishment. Yeah, that stuff does happen too much and is overwrought. So I agree with our speaker a little bit on this point.
You're so confident. Body positivity was only created, now the space is only created for fat people who want and are willing to lose weight.
Is that really true? I mean, admittedly, I do not follow the vicissitudes of the body positivity movement, but is body positivity now about promoting exercise and healthy eating? Thank you, Juggernaut. She's just putting all reasons other than I need to eat better and exercise. This coming from a man who used to weigh 420 pounds, 313, and now dropping. Well, first off, congratulations on losing that much weight. Holy cats, man. Good for you. I have had family members and friends who have struggled with their weight for years, and I know just, you know, abstractly just how much effort, dedication, and work it takes to really make that kind of achievement or advancement in it. So congratulations to you, and thank you so much. But yeah, so far, she's not addressing her own habits. She's not addressing what she could do if she really wanted to. Again, if she's happy the way she is, if she's not interested in doing exercise, if she's not interested in changing her diet, if she thinks that she is just this way forever and forever shall it be, and she's fine with that, good for her. I don't care. It doesn't sound like she's happy with it, but regardless, her problem is a result of everybody else so far. It's the system, it's society making me feel bad. No, you are responsible for you in this instance, both your sense of self and your bodily health.
So what can we do?
I don't know.
If body positivity isn't for fat people anymore, what is there?
I don't know. How about you just turn back the clock on the policies of body positivity from the 1960s and just call it something else? Because I assume that's all you can do.
There's this concept called body neutrality,
Okay.
and it allows us to take the value and morality out of people's bodies.
Oh, okay. So, like I said, there were only two other options for you. If you're not going body positivity, you're going neutrality or hate, right? Body neutrality. All right, how does that work?
There are no good bodies or bad bodies or immoral bodies. There are just bodies.
Okay, I don't know where the immoral thing is coming from. Good or bad, depending on how you categorize that, depends. You're talking about healthy versus unhealthy. That's probably more apropos to what we're talking about here. But you keep putting some kind of like value on it as far as like quality or morality. Now, beauty, as they say, is in the eye of the beholder. There are lots of people out there who love fat people. Really, just there's reams of porn out there on it. So don't tell me for a second that there are not people out there that find overweight people attractive or find that body type desirable, because that's not true. But I just... Body neutrality. I'll have to see how this works. Thank you, Drew W. again. She's on 2 diets. One just isn't enough food. Oh. You're gonna be that guy in the audience, aren't you, Drew? You bully, you.
Every body has the same function. We're all supposed to be inhabited. And
a man's body does not have the same function as a woman's body. I can say that with absolute certainty. A man's body does not possess the same function as a woman's body. So there you go.
we can be grateful for the bodies that we have.
Uh-huh.
But the problem is that not every body has the same access to resources and support.
Access to resources. Where are we going?
Every body isn't given the same systemic care structures on purpose.
Are we going for equality of outcome? Are we going for equity?
And body neutrality allows us to be able to experience our bodies more broadly emotionally.
What?
There isn't any guilt or shame by thinking negative thoughts about your body one day.
What?
For me, I have chronic pain.
What? Is your chronic pain by any chance a direct result of the amount of weight your body has to carry around? Gunfox61, thank you so much. Scribe, she is on a seafood diet. She sees it and eats it. Oh, man, that is some third grade level stuff right there, but I'll allow it. You have chronic pain, you say. Do tell.
So every day I might be in pain one day and I'm like, oh my gosh, my body, I feel betrayed by my body. I can't do the things I want to do. I can't do the things I need to accomplish. And body neutrality allows me to think that it is okay to not feel okay about my body.
So body neutrality makes you feel nothing about chronic pain.
What?
What is that? What the fuck is that?
As far as I'm concerned, it's just a free for all now.
It allows us to know that no bodies are wrong, and it is the systemic barriers put in place that cause us to think that our bodies are wrong.
Okay, so under body neutrality, then, you would no longer either be inclined to, or in fact be allowed to, disparage thin white women. Do I have that right? Because it sure seems like you've got something against thin white women, specifically. But in body neutrality, that would no longer be a burden on your soul. Is that, am I getting that? Thank you, Andrew W. Chronic pain is called hunger. Oh. Oh. Okay.
To go even beyond body neutrality, because there's limitations to that too.
Oh.
There are people who feel like they can't take the morality out of their body, the value, maybe because of their disability or their chronic pain.
What?
And it's really hard to think that their body is neutral.
What?
But fat liberation is a concept driven to let fat people think outside of the binds of thinness.
What? So, the alternative to body positivity is body neutrality, where everything becomes irrelevant effectively, where no one has to care about anything dealing with bodies or something else. However, if an individual themselves can't get beyond neutrality of their own body, then we move on to fat liberation. So body neutrality isn't actually an alternative. It's not a solution to anything, because it's not good enough. Because if the individual decides that they're still unhappy with themselves, then it all falls apart. Only one person has to do that, and then it all falls apart. Mr. E, Scribelight, I've never heard of body neutrality before. You sure that's not a new buzzword? I put that up on the screen. Yeah, you know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. Attempt to coin new buzzword, buzz phrase. I'm circling that one. I won't credit her with coming up with it, but truth be told, I can't say I've ever heard it before. So, and in relation to everything else in this, I just think it deserves it. Thank you again, Drew W. She needs to think outside of the bun. Oh, you were stealing kids' lunch money in school, weren't you, Drew W? You were one of those kids.
To go outside of the false ideal of thin bodies are acceptable, it allows us to go beyond the stereotypes of immorality. And
okay, honestly, maybe I live in a completely, just sanitized bubble when it comes to this concept. But when was it a common thing to see fat people as inherently immoral? I mean, growing up, I never saw Santa Claus as inherently immoral. Just as the first example that comes to my mind. Or someone with a belly as inherently immoral. But she seems really focused on this morality play. I guess there are people out there who can assess people just by looking at them, the quality of their character. I mean, we don't see that at all. Skinny white ladies are all terrible. But at the same time, immoral? Thank you, Zach Osborne. Fat Liberation, BACN, by any cheeseburger necessary. Bacon. Bacon, 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 bacon. There. What's in the bag? I can't read. Please, please give me what's in the bag. Sorry. That's an old commercial for those of you that don't know.
And being unintelligent and bad and greedy.
You know, I think you think that's what people think about you. You know, this is one giant projection session, but I'm pretty sure that you go around thinking that that's what people are thinking about you. You are making assumptions about the character of others based on your own lack of self-security. I mean, it's just, okay.
Fat liberation allows us to explore beyond diet culture.
Diet culture. Eating healthy. Yeah. Diet culture. Thank you, Jago Dragon. You need a what the cats mug and or t-shirt. Holy cats. Yeah. I don't know why I say that. I don't know. I mean, it's an old phrase, you know, holy cats or something as an alternative to like holy whatever else. But yeah, holy cats. I should get like a t-shirt with some cats with like little halos on their head and little wings in the back, and they got their paws together. Thank you, Sinatra says. Thank you. Yes, there's that too. There's that too. Oh. Okay. Okay.
A $1 billion industry created for people to yo-yo, gain back weight, lose weight, gain back weight, lose weight, and feel horrible about themselves.
That is a you problem. It's not about losing weight only. It's about maintaining the healthy lifestyle that you have achieved. If you start slacking, if you hit your goal and go like, oh boy, well, man, I lost all that weight. It's milkshake time. Then that is your problem. If you have a problem with gaining weight and you lose the weight, you have to have the discipline to maintain what got you to your weight goal. And I am not going to tell anybody that if you are in a situation where you have to work really hard to make it to a healthy weight or an ideal weight, whether it's healthy or not, whatever, that is going to be easy to maintain it. It's not necessarily going to be so. It's going to require work. It's going to require monitoring yourself, possibly, probably, for your whole life. That's what it requires. You can take yourself out of the $1 billion dieting industry real quick if you maintain your good habits once you get to your ideal weight. But it requires willpower and work and dedication. There's no promise of an easy ride, but it's on you to do it. Thank you again, Drew W. Surprised that cord hasn't snapped on her yo-yo. Oh, Drew. Drew.
It allows us to go beyond exercise as a punishment, only meant to have people lose weight.
Projection.
Where is the pleasure in that?
Endorphins. Seeing the results of your labor. Feeling like you've accomplished something. Pushing beyond your personal limits day by day, bit by bit. That is what you're looking for, I think.
It allows us to go beyond thinking about food as a punishment.
No, it allows you to do nothing. It allows you to do nothing. It allows you to feel not guilty about not taking the effort to change your situation. That's it. That is all that you are suggesting here. It removes the accountability and the self-responsibility to make healthier changes in your life, to just sit around and do nothing. And if you want to sit around and do nothing, and you can maintain that lifestyle, and you're happy doing that, then do it. By all means, do it. But don't pretend that you are not the one choosing to do that.
As junk, as a moral thing. Because spoiler alert, food is also morally neutral. Eat that slice of pie. Or two.
You're really stuck on morality. You know, I'm not a psychologist, but I do own a couch. I really have to wonder if there wasn't some kind of, I'll just say, religious connotation to criticism she received as a child or something that caused her to have this moral component so entwined in her notion of body weight.
I recently went to a talk and there was a fat activist there, and her name is Reagan Chastain, and she said, I used to fight my body on behalf of weight stigma, and now I fight weight stigma on behalf of my body.
So she just stopped exercising and eating healthy and just, boy, oh boy, yeah, you know, I'm sure her just being fat really sends a message to society. Making up excuses for not doing healthy by yourself. That's a powerful message.
And I think that is the crux of fat liberation.
Ah, okay.
We spend so much energy and time fighting our bodies, causing stress to our bodies.
No. You spend time and energy eating more than you need to. You're not fighting your body. You are adding on to your body. If you're fighting your body, it's because you have the body that you built yourself. And again, just for clarity, I'm setting aside people who have very specific medical conditions or have other circumstances that literally prevent them from losing weight or maintaining a healthy weight. Because there are people out there like that. It's not always I'm going to change this about myself today, and then, 6 months from now, everything's different. I get it. But I got a feeling that our speaker does not fall into that category. She would like to. I think she would like to. I think she would like to have a boilerplate, ironclad excuse for why she is the way that she is. The fact that she has not brought up one, but is instead talking about the effects of being overweight, chronic pain, and so on, tells me a lot. Thank you again, Drew W. Your body is a temple. Some people are cathedrals. Oh, you got a book somewhere of these, right? Just going through page by page. Thank you, Drew. Okay.
Trying to fit into this ideal that is not attainable to so many.
It is attainable to a lot of people. But you are the one putting that burden on yourself. Your self-esteem is your problem. Your body is your responsibility. Society is not doing this to you.
I used to fight my body daily to try to be perceived as one of the good fats.
The good fats. You used to fight your body daily. So you mean you went out and exercised? You think exercise is fighting your body? You think resisting the temptation to eat more than you need to is fighting your body? Because that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like you are saying. And that is just absolutely bonkers.
Perceived as one of the good fats, one of the good ones, whatever that means.
No, not whatever that means. You should know what that means. If you do not know what that means, then what were you trying to do in being that thing? What do you mean? I'm not going to do it again. There's no reason to do it again. I've done it twice now.
I was in Weight Watchers to try to fit into a prom dress. I wore sweatsuits with ankle and wrist weights and danced to a 1980s Sweatin' to the Oldies with Richard Simmons.
Wow. Well, so you're putting the effort in to get healthier. You had a goal. You set a goal. I am going to fit into this prom dress. And then you put in effort to reach that goal. And then
there were some bops. But it was still really uncomfortable to have to do that, to try to fit this ideal and standard that my mother had put on me, that doctors have put on me, that peers have put on me.
What do you want for yourself? I guess that's the big question. Oh, that was, I swear to God, that was unintentional. But I'll take it. The question is, what do you want for yourself? Right? Okay. You don't want to adhere to your mother's expectations, or the world's expectations. Okay, what do you want? Is this what you want? Is your body the way it is your goal? Because if it is, great, you made it. You're done, right? Okay. There's a point at which in growing up, and it is not an easy place to get to, I will confess, where you have to reach a stage where what other people think about you, in general terms, is irrelevant. You have to be happy with yourself, or try to achieve that. And admittedly, it is not easy to do. I'm not happy with myself. There's a lot of things about me that I don't like. I'm never going to find myself all that attractive looking. Not because I'm not attractive looking to people. I've been attracted to and been attracted by several people before. But I just have a sense of myself. I look at myself in the mirror and say, my face, my nose, I don't think I look that great. It's this self-deprecation that's always there. Right? It's ingrained in me at this point. I used to do it actively and consciously because I did not want to become like the arrogant people who picked on me as a kid. There was a sense of me that I had to keep myself honest. I couldn't allow myself to take too much credit, etc., etc. I had to keep myself regimented. Couldn't let me believe my own press or think too highly of myself to avoid overconfidence, to avoid arrogance. I did not want to be that person. And so I was, and still am, very down on myself as a safety mechanism. That's how I justified it to myself, a safety mechanism. This will keep you honest. This will keep you from becoming an arrogant person. This will keep you humble if you're constantly putting yourself down. And I have reached some sort of equilibrium with that at this stage in my life. I'm not down in the dumps. I'm not always depressed, but I'm always just a little bit critical of myself. Okay. And I'm fine with that. I've reached a point where I'm comfortable with that. And I don't really care that much about what other people think of me, physically speaking. It's not easy to get to. But here's the thing. It is your responsibility. It's not your mom's, not the doctor's, not anybody else. If you're happy being the way you are, fine, great. You go with your bad self. But this entire talk tells me that you're not. And you're looking for every reason to explain why you feel bad, except looking within. Thank you, Drew W. Your body is a temple. Some people, oh, sorry, I already did that one. Sorry, my chat did not jump this time. Let's try that again. Yeah, oh, there it is. Watching the weight go up and up. Yes, Weight Watchers. That was always the joke back in the 80s when Weight Watchers was big. It's just like watching your weight, watching the scale, right, as it rises. Anyway.
There was this one time when I was in 7th grade band.
Mhm.
I played flute. I love my flute.
Mm-hmm.
And I was tapping my foot away.
Yes.
And my friend was watching me, my best friend at the time.
Yes.
And she starts laughing while I'm playing my flute,
Okay.
practicing the music.
Mm-hmm.
And I stopped playing. I said, "What are you laughing at?" She goes, "I can see your belly jiggle."
In 7th grade? Huh. Can you believe it? Kids are mean. Yeah. Yeah. In 7th grade, you say?
And I just instantly felt self-conscious.
I don't blame you. At that age, at that stage in development, mentally, emotionally, physically, and so on. Yeah, I empathize. I can understand.
I am happy to say today that fat liberation has given me the space to be proud of my jiggling belly.
You're proud of your jiggling belly. Okay. This entire talk does not lend itself to me believing you.
And my flappy arms, and my back rolls, and my double chin. And fat liberation has given us the space to be able to disrupt the systems again.
Oh, okay, brave warrior. How are your back rolls disrupting the system?
To fight for liberation.
Who has you in chains? Who is preventing you from being fat? Tell me who.
And this isn't to say that body shaming is good for anyone, right?
What? But
Thin people may feel shame around their bodies sometimes.
where? What?
But recognizing that thin people have privilege.
Oh, privilege. Oh, did you just say privilege? Oh, circling privilege on the card. Oh my gosh, I didn't think we'd get there. I didn't think we'd get there, but we got there. All right, thin privilege, everybody. Privilege on the board. Oh boy, thin people have privilege. Drew W., thanks so much. She loves everything she covers up with clothes. Yeah. And thank you, John Miller. With fat pride, we shake the foundation. So, I mean, she's just really opening the door wide for all of this. Oh, I said, wow. I swear I don't mean these intentionally.
And they are not oppressed for their bodies.
Oh, aren't they? Well, what are you doing? What are you hoping for? If everybody thought the way you did, I wonder, would you think they were being oppressed for their bodies when you're trying to vilify them both for their weight and specifically their skin color? If you no, I'm not going to say it. Boy, I dodged a bullet on that one.
So what I implore for you all today, if you are thin, fight for your fat friends. Fight the brands that you love to have more inclusive, same pricing clothing.
Uh-oh, inclusive, diversity and inclusion. Oh my God, we got diversity and inclusion. Well, you know what that means.
Bingo.
What?
Of course!
Oh, another bingo. And holy cats, I just noticed we have another one because it's diagonal. Oh my God.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Right?
Yeah!
Privilege got us a diagonal. I didn't realize. Oh my gosh, guys. Wowzers. Thank you again, Drew W. I feel oppressed. Small shirts cost as much as large. Do they? I thought the larger ones definitely cost more just because the extra, I mean, unless you're finding them on sale or something. I don't know. Oh, I guess it depends on where you shop. Thank you, Drew. Man alive. What do we got left? Patriarchy, equity, weightless example, and feminism. Boy, oh boy.
Go to the doctor's office with your fat friend and make sure they're being treated correctly. Follow fat activists and scholars and read fat writers. And fat people, it's okay to be fat. It's actually pretty great.
You make it sound very attractive.
And fat people, there are so many ways that you can advocate for yourself too. Request not being weighed in the doctor's office. That is a possibility. You do not have to be weighed. Most medical treatments do not need to know what your weight is to be provided that treatment.
So actively deny doctors information that could better help them to diagnose and or treat you. Okay.
But most of all, I want you all to know that you don't have to love your body to be worthy of fighting for.
What?
You don't have to love your body to get access to things.
What?
And most importantly, you don't have to love your body to love yourself. Thank you.
Oh boy, everyone. Okay. Now, I'm going to go over what little is left of the card. No, I didn't update it with the other one yet. Hold on. There we go. Okay. What little is left of the card, guys. And this is something. I'm not going to make predictions here, but thank you, Drew W. Why are her arteries 90% clogged? Mystery. Yeah. Okay. There's not much left to cover. So you know what? Rather than me going over it, I'm going to open up the floor to suggestions for circles to be squared. Circles to be squared. This has completely discombobulated my brain. Squares to be circled. Okay, and this is entirely on you guys. I'm going to abstain because I've done more than my share on this one as far as coming to conclusions, and she certainly has helped. So what is left on the board? Feminism, patriarchy, equity, weightless example. I will take arguments now. Be sure to tag me in your comments so I can see it more clearly in the chat. But I did just spot this one from your boy Pat. She did ask for equity when it comes to clothes pricing and in a whole bunch of other things. Yep. Okay. Like I say, I don't want to get too predictive here.
Bingo.
What?
Of course!
Okay. All right, we got 3 left, guys. I'm getting nervous. We're right on the edge of a watershed moment. I don't want to do it lightly, but Texas Attorney General, patriarchy when she claimed rich, fat European men oppressed fat American women, slaves to become skinny. Oh. Okay.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Right?
Yeah!
And somewhere in there, we also had the diagonal one on the opposite side.
Bingo.
What?
Of course!
Okay. Oh boy. Juggernaut, Scribelight, if you want to go feminism, she did make it about mainly how women were oppressed. I can't argue with that at all. So that means 2 more.
Bingo.
What?
Of course!
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Right?
Yeah!
Okay. Okay. Lady Gopher says pink tax as the weightless example. Patrice says 7th grade as a weightless example. Featherless bipedal. Weightless example, pun aside, her story about the lady who died with cancer is quite broad. I swear to God, guys, I am not fudging this. I am not going easy on this. It's the aggregate beyond everything else. It's finally fucking happened.
Oh my God!
Hallelujah! Holy shit! What? Where's the Tylenol?
This was the one of all the 10 excellences. This is the one? Really? Really, really, really? This is it? This is what happens? I gotta do it again.
Oh my God!
Hallelujah! Holy shit! What? Where's the Tylenol?
Everyone, this is a red letter day. The first time in TED Excellence history, on the day where everything goes wrong. It's so appropriate. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I've been doing the bingo card TED Excellences for about a year now, right? And the number of TED Excellences we have done, I couldn't count. We got close before, but today was the day. Of all things, of all times, of all subject matters, today was the day. Lady Gopher, thank you. Congratulations. Is it though? Is it really? Is this something to celebrate that we have just witnessed? One TEDx run the gamut of covering every toxic trope, cliche presentation item ever? Okay, I'm going to announce this now. The current version of the C bingo card will be retired as of this card. In honor of this day, of this moment, of this event, this bingo card, this arrangement of squares is now retired. I do this in respect for the presentation. I do this to mark the occasion. I do this because I feel as though it is necessary to do. This will go into the I don't know, the Hall of Shame, obviously, forever and forever. And to mark even more so that occasion, this is it. This is the one. This is the Vorpal Warp end all be all. If this happens again, I don't know. I just don't know. Thank you, Texas Attorney General, Secret Agent Scribbles. We just divided by 0. I know. And John Miller, thank you. Woo! All the boxes belong to Scribe. Yes. Yes. Oops. Misclick, but 1 says always lost on nothing else. Okay, everyone. I'm going to turn this into an NFT. Somehow. I'm going to turn this into an NFT. This is the first, and God help me, I hope it is the only bingo blackout for TED Excellence. I will come up with a new arrangement for a new card C, and I will update the description for the next episode. But everyone, you have all been witness to a historic event without peer. I hope never to see repeated, because God help my brain cells. Assassin of the Gray, can anyone see my texts? Well, I see your comment there. Did I miss something? Oh, sell the card for $500,000 on eBay. Like I said, this might be an NFT. Maybe. Drew W., thanks so much. The large woman filled the entire board. This TEDx opened itself up to everything, every comment, every sidewise word choice. Just okay. I think I'm finished for now. So I'm going to close there. We're going to talk about this on Lords of the Night tonight. I'm not going to be able to avoid spoilers for anybody who doesn't see this ahead of time. I just can't help it. But everyone, thank you so much for joining me for this epic historical moment. I apologize profusely. If you would like to hear more from me or Satsu 2 Cents, you can find the both of us tonight, Thursday night, on my channel, this channel, at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, for the Lords of the Night, where we will go over the news of the day, news stories that you submit, what we've been up to on the internet, and then your questions and comments. Everyone, real quick, Mike R., thank you so much. Make a t-shirt in the store for this occasion. That's an idea. That is an idea. I'll think about that. I will think about that. Thank you, Mike. Everyone, thank you for being the greatest audience I could possibly have ever hoped for. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, even though everyone is so well behaved that you have very little to do. Thank you all so much for your participation and argumentation. It is invaluable and always appreciated. Everyone who donated, thank you for your generosity. I appreciate that as well. Everyone, I hope you are all safe and well. I do not anticipate that your mental health is as well now as it was before this began, but all the same, if you are not well, please get well soon, and I will see you on the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.